All right, I am recording games again. I barely made it in before the end of 2020 to upload more games for Game of Thrones. So, what I'm going to do is a little bit similar to what I've done in the past with new agendas. These agendas aren't really new, these ones from the bin pack, but they're new to me. So, I'm going to try and make three decks for each of them and play some games with those and just sort of play around with them a bit before I get back to sort of my more normal style of making videos. The first one is Aloof and Apart, and I think I mentioned that this is already like probably the most popular agenda I've seen online. Maybe Hollow Hill is also up there, but I'm pretty confident this is more common than that. It's like the econ agenda for big characters, and because most of the broken stuff has been toned down, it's like Nice Watch, Hollow Hill, Reset Spam, or Big Guys. That's like a huge amount of what you'll go up against. And that's not to say that there's not other stuff out there. There are also a good amount of like decks that I'm not sure what they are. I just don't expect. I'm like, oh, it's this. I didn't expect someone to see that. Which is nice. I think there is a good amount of diversity. But I also think it's not surprising to see a ton of people just defaulting to this agenda and playing big characters. I don't think it needs much sort of discussion or explanation on what it is or how you play it. The only thing that I would say is I was sort of, well, I guess I shouldn't completely talk about my other decks yet, but one thing that did stop me is I wanted to try to make like a Lannister Clansman deck, but anytime I make, like, there's a lot of different ideas I have for Lannister that I stopped because they all involved, like, bouncing big characters back to my hand, like Sir Robert Strong or Ilan Payne. Like, I really like doing stuff like that. But when you're doing that, you're giving them free power with this agenda, because when they leave play with their prized one, it gives the opponent a power on their faction. So it's anything that involves bouncing your big characters in and out of play. Another thing is I was like, oh, I'm going to make a Martell Lords and Ladies deck with the 7 cost Ariane. And then I realized, yeah, I'm going to use the 7 cost Ariane to give them free power every time I use her ability. Maybe I'm not going to do that. So that is one thing to keep in mind. Of course, if you're doing that, then you're already doing something weird. And that's not what the typical strategy is. The typical strategy is just play the big characters, the best cards, and win the game. And, I mean, it doesn't get much more fitting that description than this Greyjoy deck. So we're going to just go ahead and get this agenda out of the way. I might have one deck for this that'll be a little more interesting. We'll see. It's not like totally boring like this deck is. But yeah, and playing something really straightforward like this I think is also fine for me playing the game again after not playing for a year. The deck here does not need a ton of explanation. It's Greyjoy big characters. Like, if you've played this game at all, then you know what this deck is. One thing I'll say is I did run into a game against the 6-cost version of Euron, the nerfed redesigned version. He definitely can still win the game on turn 1. You just have to have, like, other cards already in hand when you play him now. So if you have Silence in hand, first of all, then he still can win the game right away. And if you have, like, another Raider character, and what the person had was just the, I think I have, yeah, the Eager Deckhands. It's like, well, this is a Raider. So you just marshal him, he puts Silence into play from your hand, the Eager Deckhand comes into play for free, she's a Raider, and it's exactly like the old busted version. So it's less consistent because you have to have certain other cards in hand, and I guess there's a little bit less card advantage because you're putting Silence into play from your hand instead of usually from your deck. Like, now you run 3 copies of it and just mulligan to try to draw it in your opening hand, instead of before you would run 1 copy and usually pull it out of your deck. But that doesn't really matter because it's still the same strategy of the tempo is insane, there's no way that you can keep up with it, and resets don't do anything because it's Greyjoy, so you just die. Unfortunate, but maybe I'll try that in a warship deck. This is kind of a warship deck, but it's, I don't know. I didn't quite want to do it in this one because it's even if that's still a good strategy, it's just kind of lame. I mean, not that this isn't a super strong card too, the core set version, but you know. So yeah, we've got the big guys. The Victarion. I think the 6-cost Victarion is fine, but this version of Victarion is still pretty broken. So that's the one we went with. Some just generic Greyjoy cards, newly made Lord. There's definitely some flex spots on the lower end. Actually, the big characters too. I mean, if you wanted to like play Dagmar and 5-cost Asha, I'm sure you could get away with doing that. Any version of Balon's probably fine. How many? He has 3 versions. They're all pretty good. Uh, Another thing is like if you wanted to not play these shipwrights in favor of playing more copies of Hagen's Daughter because she's such a good card, you can play around with the lower end of the deck. I think plenty. I kind of threw the eager deckhands in because it was like, well, I'm playing warships for Victarion. I might as well put in some warship support. I will say, Iron Victory's Crew is another card that I've added in here, and maybe it's just feels stronger because you're no longer doing the 6-cost you're on, so their ability is like more relevant now. I don't know. Maybe because the overall power level is less, but I feel like I kind of underestimated this card. The ability to search your deck for Great Kraken or like Night Flyer is definitely pretty good. Like, even though that's basically all that it does, other than that, it's just a body with kind of mediocre stats. That entire deck search ability is very nice to have, and I don't mind having these in the deck because of that. But yeah, we've got the Risens, the Milks, the Bodyguards, the Warships. What is there to say, really? If you draw like your Great Hall in your opening hand or something, you can get Gates of the Moon instead with At the Gates. Yeah. Can't think of much else to say. The plots, if you want to be actually fun, what you do is you play We Take Westeros and try to catch something with Iron Victory's Crew. You can also steal locations of 1 or less with your eager deckhands, and there might be another Raider somewhere in here that I'm not seeing. If you play that, you probably play some more Raiders somewhere that I'm playing, but I'm not doing that because I'm lame. I'm just doing 2 copies of Barring the Gates and then like normal plots. But yeah, you can also do, there's a lot of options. You could do Rise of the Kraken. That used to always be in these Greyjoy decks. It's probably fine to play that again. I mean, it was probably always fine to play it, but I'd say it's probably even more attractive now because you're no longer locked into always having We Take Westeros in your deck. The plot deck has plenty of flexibility, I think. Like, I don't think you really even need to play Nothing Burns. It might even be bad in this deck because of Milk of the Poppy, but the idea is you can, like, absorb it with Risen from the Sea to not have to discard Milk if you don't want to. I don't know if that's actually good, but yeah. I don't have Iron Fleet Scouts. I found that they were kind of unnecessary, and I didn't really have a problem paying for like 2-cost warships. But Iron Fleet Scouts are an option if you like Iron Fleet Scouts instead of refurbished Hulk. There's some flexibility there. But yep, let's play a game. Yeah, this is a low initiative plot deck because I have 2 copies of Barring. Like, these are both 0 initiative. Obviously, Valar. Like, the only high initiative plot is Nothing Burns. I guess what I'm trying to say is you can also play high initiative plots and go first cards, but I'm not playing any go first cards really. Like, I'm not playing the 6-cost Euron, not playing the Intimidate Victarion, not playing the Asha that stands up after she attacks, or the Balon that doesn't kneel to attack. None of that is in here, but like if you wanted to play those versions of cards and play like Raiding Longship and stuff like that, you could definitely get away with it. Then you do, I don't know, there's so many high initiative plots that would be fine. With the economy that's enabled by this agenda, you would have like your, well, I guess the awkward part is if you're trying to go high initiative, then you don't like opening with At the Gates, but maybe you just play 3 Great Halls then, and if you draw dupes of it, you don't really care. I don't know. You could make it work somehow. Then you could start with, I don't know, Besieged or something crazy like that. But yeah, there's so many good high initiative plots. So while we're waiting, oh, there someone joined. Freelance Nails. That sounds familiar. Oh, no, it's this deck. This is a deck I've been playing with. As soon as I play something else, this guy's playing it. Oh, see, I drew my Great Hall. Oh, I should have done the math on Great Hall or Rose Road. Oh no, this works out though. It sounds like he's not happy about his mulligan. Oh wow. Oh, that's horrible. That's so bad. Maybe he mulliganed into like 5 events. Man, that's terrible. I've played a ton of this Tyrell Dark Wings, Dark Words the other day, or just recently, and I should have gone first so I could Night Flyer his Red Wine Straights, but that's just mean. It's fine to not do that. And I even, me playing this, I have not seen a setup that bad. That's just really sad. Maybe he's playing like 30-something events, something totally insane. Oh, wait, I did. Why am I first player? Oh, he selected me to be first player. Why did I think that I won initiative? I did not win initiative. I think I should play Victarion? Okay, if you put me first player, then this is what you get for doing that. Yeah, you should not have put me first player, bro. Right, let's not think too hard about this. I guess I can... I don't blame him. If he wants to scoop, I would say I don't blame him. Sure, we'll play Victarion. Yeah, this is good. Because I have an Intrigue icon here. I think if I didn't have this Intrigue icon, maybe I'd go Euron. I was going to say I can steal his Great Hall, but you actually can't do that now because it's unique. So, used to be really fun and fair to steal the other person's Great Halls with Euron. You can't do that anymore. Another case where if I was really trying to optimize, it would have been better to nuke Red Wine Straights for that purpose. So he has 4 gold. That smells like Hightower Spy or something. Oh, or just a bunch of events, of course. Yeah, this is such a good start for my deck, and his start is so horrible. Like, this is really unfortunate. At least I don't have We Do Not Sow. Oh, Nightmare's the Great Kraken. The correct play there. Great Kraken is insane. He does have a ton of cards and a lot of draw. Melee at Bitter Bridge. That is not in my deck. My Dark Wing, Dark Words deck. Melee at Bitter Bridge is not in there. See, this is still a really fair card, even though they made it limit twice per round. It's like, that is technically a nerf, but I feel like it really should have been limit once. Alright, let's roll the dice. Is he going to get a big character or a card that I don't care about? Oh, it was a card that I don't care about. I mean, Milk might be relevant. He's probably playing big characters because he did Great Halls. So the question here is he going to play Valar Morghulis? I think if he doesn't play Valar Morghulis, then it's Scoop for sure. So I would expect Valar Morghulis. So I can Counting Coppers to try to draw Risen, but I can also just Noble Cause. And to have money, this is better. Oh, alright, loan from the Iron Bank. My version of this deck has Duel. It's clearly better suited to beat Greyjoy. Although the strategy of just accepting defeat against Greyjoy is always also a viable strategy. So there's nothing good in his discard pile in terms of cards for Balon to steal. So just going to play Euron. Let's play this guy, why not? Sure, Iron Victory, I have Victorion. This is bad. Okay, he has Renly. He has the protection. Oh, I have the Risen now, though. That's too bad. I didn't have it this turn. Like at the start of this turn, I didn't have it. This card, naturally. That's the correct card to have in this deck. We're going to do this first. He has 0 gold, so I'm not going to use Grey Ghost until I see the Scheming Septon move, because then he'll have gold to do shenanigans. Alright, just eats the claim. I don't think it matters which character I use this on. I guess her. Sure. I think I'm far enough ahead that I can send him in to attack just to get his renown. I don't think there's any locations he can steal. No, not seeing any. He has to defend these because I might have We Do Not Sow. I guess he doesn't have to. Oh, wow. Pillaged Rose Road. Not like it matters. I don't need that Rose Road. Yeah, I probably did want that one. Is he going to play the card that removes him from the challenge? Nope. Does not play it. Sad times. Oh, he didn't even use the ability there on Queen of Thorns. I mean, I have no idea what his hand is. I got really lucky on the intrigue claim again. Alright, Iron Bank. Is he going to spin the gold or pass? Pass, alright. So maybe it's Morghulis now? Oh, is that the 7 mace? Oh, it's the 6 mace. Interesting. I guess I can play Counting Coppers. I have so much economy. I don't really need 3 extra gold. Yeah, that makes sense. Draw the Euron dupe. I might should have saved Euron because I drew his dupe there. But we're not trying super hard, to be honest. Okay, I drew that dupe too, so that's fine. Let's not dupe him because Dohaeris exists. Sad times. It's kind of unfortunate. Alright, let's see if we can get another one. Oh, this guy's playing Free Folk. Let's see what happens. This guy only plays Free Folk. He's been playing nothing but Free Folk for like over a year. I went up against this recently, and I managed to beat it. Like 3 military claim every turn is still really obnoxious, but it's a lot more possible to deal with it. Like I actually did beat it. So confirmed, Free Folk successfully nerfed, not as ridiculous. Is he like refusing to start the game? I'll give it like another minute. Maybe he just doesn't want to play with me. Oh, there he goes. Okay. Oh, I cannot set up Euron and a location. I almost kept that hand. Alright, this is better. Hagen's daughter on setup is super good. Not an ideal setup, but his isn't very good either. Is that a Water Dancer's sword? That's weird. He's going to play, I don't know, something to claim. Oh yeah, that plot makes sense. You don't need to play that first turn, because first turn is usually at the gates. So like save the 8 initiative for later. Maybe he just wants the 5 gold. The problem that this deck is going to have against Greyjoy is that Greyjoy doesn't care about the other characters. It's like, okay, as long as my big guy has a duplicate or a bodyguard, I don't care about the rest of the military claim. It's 100% going to be the issue. Because the Free Folk does not run Valar Morghulis, right? They don't have that. What card? I guess I play Theon and Bodyguard? Oh no, I should just keep my gold to bring Hagen's daughter out of shadows. That's the right play. Now, she has stealth, I think. Yeah. But I can defend his intrigue with Euron. Oh, he only wants intrigue. Okay, that's kind of smart. 3 intrigue claim, pretty good. Oh, alright, I was about to ask why he didn't use his agenda. That makes sense. Should I defend with Hagen's? Yeah, because I can get military and intrigue. Yeah, there was no way out of that, so he killed Hagen's daughter. Oh, and the Intimidate, so I should have defended. Oh well. Oh, that was actually really strong. Oh, he had to kill... Okay, so even after all that, I actually still have a better board than him. But he did get my Asha with Intrigue, which is pretty big. Should I Coppers? Barring the gates? If I Coppers into a warship, then Coppers is better. I think he's just going to do you win or you die. So this is not a consideration for, like, initiative. I think barring is better if I don't draw into a warship, maybe. Because how much gold is this? 5? And then I'll have, like, 3 extra. If I play Coppers and I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is still enough to play 2 guys. Yeah, I need to draw saves. Yeah, 8 initiative. Damn, no discards. So she has the stealth again. She's going to stealth Euron. I guess because Victarion can stand. The thing is, I just think if he wins the military challenge, then nothing else matters. So I just have to try to block the military. And what the best way to block military is probably Victarion, right? Yeah, trying to marshal smaller characters to absorb the 3 claim is not going to work. So hopefully he doesn't have anything. I have to let this go through so that I can block military. Yep, raises the claim, so that means he probably cannot get military through. I kept my Balon, which is really good. Alright, he might have Valar Dohaeris, but even being forced to play Valar Dohaeris as free folk is, like, really, really bad. Oh, I just forgot that I had that. He canceled the claim? I don't think that's how that works, yeah. If he doesn't have Valar Dohaeris, I think he's dead. Especially, like, next turn, I'm going to play Balon, and then he's going to concede. Do I do Barring or Noble Cause? Barring is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 is plenty. But if he does another City Besieged, you can have 2 of these, right? Then I'll only have 9. 9 is not as good, so let's do Noble Cause. That makes sense. So Barring was possibly the correct choice. We'll see. Rattleshirt, that's bad. That's like the card that could save him. Alright, so Barring didn't matter. We played the right plot. Did I actually waste gold there? Oh, yeah, he conceded. Yeah, he was dead because he had a character in his discard, so like this turn, even a 3-claim military I can absorb pretty easily, and I'm still sitting here with these guys. He was completely dead. That was good. It's good to get a game against Free Folk and show, like, yes, Free Folk is still really obnoxious, but it's been nerfed a lot, and it's very beatable with, like... this spectator, they're already gone. Oh, he thinks I'm actually still playing. No, he doesn't realize I'm recording for a video. Plus, a lot of... It's like, anytime a game's over, sometimes I just sit around and trigger abilities for fun. But yeah, what I was saying is, you know, if you just have a good deck, you can win against Free Folk. You know, I'm sure you're going to get killed by Free Folk sometimes when you have bad draws. You don't draw enough characters or whatever, but it's a lot more deal-withable than it was before. Even with that insane first turn that he had, like, he really caught me off guard with the Mag the Mighty play. 2 intrigue claim into 3 military claim plus mag trigger, so 4 characters killed off board. But still took the game pretty easily because Euron had a dupe, and then I just kept playing big dudes. And like out of that first turn, I mean after that first turn, he was really out of gas. So yeah, Free Folk being bad is fine by me. Even redesigns, I still don't like this agenda. It's still basically the exact same thing as before. It's just not as good, but it's still really straightforward and boring, in my opinion. And this is, yeah, at this point I can confidently say this is the only agenda in the game that I might never make videos for, because it's actually that bad. Like, maybe I'll make 1 or 2 videos with the redesign just to try the redesign, but even that, I might just totally skip it. Obviously, again, you cannot make unique decks for each faction with this agenda. There's literally no difference because all of your cards have to be neutral. So your faction choice doesn't matter at all. That's another unfortunate thing about the agenda that makes me want to not play it. It's like, well, what am I doing? I can only have 1 Free Folk deck. I can't have 8 different decks like I like to have. Anyways, that's all.